So
Verse 20
the
here.
the daughters of Ishmael, her mother, one of the sons of Ishmael, did plead with my brethren, insomuch they did soften their hearts. They did cease striving to take away my life. And it came to pass that they were sorrowful because of their wickedness. So they had they woke up, they realized how crazy they were being,
Yeah.
and they immediately felt remorse. So the Spirit started working in them again. And they felt so much remorse that they did bow down before me and did plead with me that I would forgive them of the thing that they had done against me. So that's the completion of this transformation of Nephi kind of becoming that ruling figure, that Davidic figure in the Book of Mormon. And we see the older brothers bowing down before him, recognizing that Nephi is in a greater position than they are,
Yeah.
and that they're in need of his forgiveness because they have not been righteous, they have been sinful. And that's this is where we see the switch, where Nephi now is kind of that the ruler of the Nephites, and he kind of gets the birthright going forward.
Yeah.
And a big deal here, big transition point.
Well, this is crucial to understand, because when he first speaks to them from a position of authority and with real power, their initial reaction is not good, right? They tie him up and they're willing to kill him, and then
They see it as a threat.
Well, they see it as a threat, and their pride, clearly their defenses were up. And when they witness what the Lord is able to do for Nephi, and he's able to burst these bands, again, that pride kicks in, that defense mechanism kicks in, and they're willing to continue forward with the plan, but their heart is eventually softened by the intervention of others. And here's the key, because this happens to us in our lives as well, because we can at times be like Laman and Lemuel. They humbled themselves, and clearly they did, so much so they even bowed themselves down before Nephi. And I don't think that's them worshiping Nephi in any false way. I think this is just a symbolic of how repentant they really felt for what they had done. If Laman and Lemuel at this point had continued to keep themselves humble moving forward, yes, Nephi was now going to be the spiritual leader and the patriarch of the family once Lehi is gone. He is going to assume that mantle. That's not going to change likely from this point forward. However, the outcome for Laman and Lemuel could have been significantly improved. However, we'll see as time goes by here that they cannot seem to keep that humility about them, and how drastically that sets their trajectory as opposed to what Nephi is able to keep going, and Sam and their posterity going forward. So that's just key, because at times we can be prideful like that in our lives, and we'll humble ourselves. The trick is, are we able to keep that humility and stay on that righteous trajectory?
And one of the things we're going to see in next week's episode is just the attitude that Laman and Lemuel have that prevents them from maintaining that humility and staying in the Spirit.